And we're back and we're live with game 2 of a best of 3. It's VP versus fnatic. That's quite a game 1.
Quite a game 1 indeed.
It was.
Can I make some shout-outs?
Sure. Why don't you just turn our stream into your personal shout-outs?
All right, okay. So today there's birthday time.
Oh, it is.
Toby. Happy birthday to Toby.
Happy birthday to Toby indeed.
29, I think.
28.
28?
Yeah. He's like a year older than me.
Okay.
So.
And also, happy birthday to my man Nebula. Also turning.
Do they share a birthday?
They do share a birthday. They're the best of friends.
Nebula and Toby. Good friends to the end.
Two men that has...
If I were to ship two Dota personalities, not that I'm a shipper.
I
definitely be Toby, Nebula.
When is TI4 casting featuring Nebula and Toby together?
They have such good synergy.
And they like to one-up each other in knowledge all the time.
Let's
make it happen. Valve, make it happen, please.
Volvo, please. But in all seriousness, happy birthday to Toby. He's done a lot for the Dota community. Deserves our love and respect for that. And on that note, fnatic versus VP Game 2 is underway. We'll introduce the teams, we'll talk about the draft, and we'll do that casting thing from here. Wisp and Batrider banned out by fnatic, who did have the second pick this draft. With that second pick, they'll pick up a Naga, a Weaver. As for VP, first pick status for them, banning Darkseer, banning Lifestealer, and then picking up a Prophet, following it up with a Chen. Good pushing power for them. And now banning out Keeper of the Light and Tinker. Can you say push?
Can you say split push?
How do you say push in Russian?
Push. Push. No? Psycha?
Psycha?
What does that even mean? I just see it all spam all the time.
I don't know. It's a curse word.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Psycha. I thought you were talking about push still. Yeah. Psycha's a very nasty little
My
phrase.
bad. I didn't know. I didn't know, guys.
Well, you just cursed in Russian like 6 times and made me do it too.
All right. Good.
Psycha means bitch.
Yeah, it's very offensive.
Oh, my bad.
Cow is very upset
sad
right
face
now. He just
here.
walked off the set. He's not going to produce this game.
That's what he does every time. Like, he just go there and go on his computer and play whatever he does play there. But Naga, Siren, Weaver, and Alchemist, nothing but minus armor, right? Can you say minus armor? Last time we went up to like minus 23.
They need Avenge and a Slardar, but they've actually banned out the.
No, you got Shadow Fiend.
Shadow Friend.
Shadow Friend. That's another one.
Roche level 1. Does Riptide work on Roche?
I don't think so.
The Swarm doesn't either, right?
Swarm does.
Oh, does it?
I think.
I don't think so.
God.
Someone bail us out here.
We should know this stuff, right?
Yeah, that I think we should know. Yeah. But
in any case,
where's K-Poptosis when you need them?
What is this line they're pickup? Is this a soulmate line?
What the hell?
What the hell?
Well, they do need disables. They've gotten 0 through their first 2 picks in terms of reliable ones, but a weak laning here. I mean, Lion is often food for heroes like Alchemist and Weaver.
I don't think he's particularly a good roamer by himself, but if you have if you could set up a Chen with your Hex into Impel and then Chen stomps or claps or whatever with his creeps, then it's not too bad. You could double jungle these 2 heroes quite effectively as well, and then pick 3 kind of heroes that could lane quite a bit by themselves. It's kind of like what Orange does, right? When they pick Mushi, his own laner, KYXY, his own laner, and then who plays their Windrunner?
For who? Sorry,
Orange.
I completely zoned out there.
Good job on listening.
Ohio.
Ohio.
And KYXY. No, Mushi plays with solo mid, but usually it's Ohio in the tri-lane.
Right. So, in any case, that's what I'm predicting. You pick 3 heroes that are okay on their own: Nature's Prophet, Morphling, and +1. And then you have Chen and Lion, you kind of double jungle and double roam.
And win via split push. Seems to be their recipe, their modus operandi, if you will.
Yeah, and this time Fnatic is not so much kind of a lockdown in a 5-man group push. They have a lot more mobile hero out in the form of a Weaver. Alchemist will be picking up a Shadow Blade most likely. And to be honest, if the game goes longer, Fnatic is much more well-equipped to take it late with the Grievous Greed. So I think Virtus.pro may be forced to kind of do more action early on.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more action Dota required for them. Yeah, Fnatic also just better at ganking split pushers because they have an Alchemist. Alchemist with Shadow Blade, one of the best in the business at punishing split push. can solo kill almost any one of these VP heroes. Easily the Prophet, easily the Lion, easily the Chen, and the Morphling maybe if he's got a partner. So I think Fnatic are better equipped to punish split push, and I also think they can take it late if they want. They've got good split push of their own. God, we need to find a new way to say split push, because Rat Dota, I guess.
No,
That's the other one.
I'll work on it.
Yeah, we need some Luminum magic for that.
Luminum match. Let's talk about the offensive trialing capability of Fnatic, right? Alchemist, Crystal Maiden, and perhaps Naga Siren. That's a ton of burst damage output, and that could come in a lot of range. It's a hard lane to actually kind of combat against. I guess Morphling is one of those heroes that could do it, though, because don't matter if you go on him, he just Strength Morph and Waveformed out, and that's it.
Apparently it's Suka,
Suka?
not Psyka.
Okay.
We can't even curse properly. What are we good for?
I don't know.
Can't speak English, can't speak Chinese, can't speak Russian. What languages do we speak here at BTS? We're running out of options.
We got no languages.
We got nothing, guys. If you want an English broadcast,
Time to learn Mexican. There's no Mexican broadcast.
Mexican's not a language, Lumi.
God.
That's so racist.
Wow.
You got Kawa actually upset now.
Okay.
He blurts out from the corner. That's so fucking racist. Indeed, it is. Did you really just say Mexican?
I'm gonna walk away now because there's no
Fire
coming back.
Lumi.
There's
Fire
no
Lumi.
coming back from that one.
You're just lucky the defense is going on so that not everyone's watching this stream right now.
I'm sure there's gonna be 3 Reddit right on this one.
I think this is a great time, actually, for me to let you guys know that Corsair is doing a giveaway. Thanks to our sponsors for promoting this tournament. You can head over to gc.corsair.com, this very professionally organized and broadcast event, for your chance to win a fully loaded gaming PC, as well as some Dota TV tickets.
You know when they say
Thanks for giving me the opportunity to plug.
no
That was
problem.
so smooth. and
you know
polished.
like every time I see that my name is listed under the TI3 English broadcaster, I chuckle a little bit because it's like the English broadcaster, right?
Yeah, I said the other day, I don't know if you were here, that the best burn I ever heard on Lumi was someone was like, man, Lumi's the worst English broadcaster. Other guy says, wait, Lumi's an English broadcaster?
We need
It's so good, though.
we need to have like a Dota 2 personality roast.
Yeah.
Can we make that happen at TI? Can we get a compendium
I know
challenge for that?
4chan did something.
Yo, 4chan's roast was absolutely glorious.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Like it was on
Hammer
point.
equals dropped.
I know, it was fine. I can't even read that
Bagel
part.
equals breadstick.
They had a line that apparently I said, and I can't even read it myself. That was how.
Yeah. I think mine was like, LD is... I'm so happy all the time, guys. Oh, so excited to be here. Oh, isn't this game awesome?
5-man
Howdy
RP.
do. Yeah.
5-man RP. And then like God says, in China sometimes they hit 6 or something amazing like that.
Yeah.
It's so good. That was so good. Props to whoever that made that one,
Yeah,
man.
they nailed it.
All right, so the last one is Razor, another minus armor hero, although somewhat forgotten from his ultimate. But
Windrunner at your service.
what can we
What
make out
does
of this draft?
Razor do this game for you? It's a support Alk. We know that much. Or actually, no, sorry, support Naga. I mean, Fnatic have actually found a way to pick like 4 heroes that can carry this game. It feels awful greedy once again.
You okay there, bro?
You're killing me, Lumi, in more ways than one.
I think the Razor pick prompted a solo mid Windrunner. I think the Razor has kind of surprisingly dominating a lot of more mid lanes with static link. What's going on? Is this where the racism comes on?
This is where the chat heard you say it's Mexican as a language.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
And then, all right, so let's actually go back to draft. Razor owns the mid lane pretty hard with static link up the front. You link and then you zone him out. Windrunner, one of the heroes that can kind of dart in and out with Windrun. Power shot, great animation overall. I'm not really sure who wins this matchup. I still kind of want to give it to Razor. But Windrunner solo mid means you're going to get high levels, quick shackles, and they do need quite a bit of stuns here. Weaver, Alchemist, and Razor, these are quite tanky heroes that you need to chain stun and bring them down.
So it's actually not going to be a mid Razor though, because Trixie's playing it, and Trixie's generally their offlaner.
Don't they swap it once in a while?
Yeah, but Hani's on the Alk. Actually goes for Stout Shield. I think he's still going mid, and they're expecting the Windrunner mid.
No bottle?
Yeah. So early Stout Shield, I guess, just to deal with the constant harassment from auto attacks.
Sure, that's a fair thing to say.
Very well. For the time being, we should introduce the teams because they're doing some weird stuff with the picks for sure. No Tail, he'll be playing your Naga Siren. Currently in this best of 3, VP are leading 1-0. It's your winner bracket finals for the Corsair Summer Tour. Loser is going down to the losers bracket, but does not get eliminated just yet. So winner of this guaranteed top 2 finish. Right now, VP 1 win away from being there. And we'll have your Naga handled by No Tail, Era on the Weaver, Fly on the Crystal Maiden, Trixie, the Razor. Radiant Protection up for him is going to be going to an offensive try, and it looks like, and Hani on the Alk For the Radiant side, VP, they'll have ars-art, Shenka, however you say that, on the Lion, or ars-art for short. Illidan on the Morphling. We have NS playing the Chen. Crazy on the Windrunner, but heading bottom for the time being. That leaves KSI as the off-lane Nature's Prophet.
Has KSI played anything but Nature's Prophet? Like the last 5 games I casted of him.
I think his Prophet's really solid, though.
I think his Prophet is one of the best Prophet I've seen, like, period. It just... Does he play anything else?
No.
You know, there's a category.
You know, it's funny how everyone rags on Admiral Bulldog, but there's quite a few players who play like almost nothing but Prophet right now.
You know, there's a category in the compendium, which, by the way, if you guys haven't bought one, you should. It's like, who is the player that is going to play the least amount of heroes? I'm going to put KSI there. Because I haven't seen him play anything else. Not to say that he can, but I just haven't seen it myself.
Fnatic for the time being. I'm just going to move on.
Yeah, good. Let's just move on.
We've done a poor job of actually casting the action, but the trap is in. They found Fly at level 1. Do they have a slow or any sort of stun to bring him down? The Shackle's there. They go for No-Tail.
They wanted to latch onto off of No-Tail onto the Crystal Maiden. It didn't
Yeah,
happen.
but
Ooh.
that was really asking a lot. Now Trixie comes in, steals a lot of damage. Nova coming through. Fly walking back in. I think they could have actually made a go with Trixie. Probably could have killed off this Chen or the Lion.
They definitely could have, yeah.
Well, Fnatic were playing scared. Maybe worried about a rotation off the mid lane, but in fact, it will be a solo mid Morphling. And Hani off the bat says, you're burning your regen, and you're doing it in a hurry.
Generally, when you go solo mid Alchemist, you're very much so dependent on the bottle because your spells are very mana-based intensive, and, well, they're not going for it. And we're going to see the return of the good old solo mid Morphling. I never thought we're going to see it, actually, in this particular patch because how widespread heroes like OD is in terms of owning him mid, but in a draft without the OD, definitely possible. And it's going to be a Windrunner Lion dual offlane here. Link goes up, and that's going to force...
Can I just say, if we never see OD again, I won't be too sad.
I won't be too sad either. That hero is boring as hell.
That hero's... Anti-Mage is an action hero compared to OD.
Anti-Mage blinks around to
Goes
farm
ham.
creeps.
Yeah. He's an active farmer.
Yeah.
OD just sits in his lane.
Like, I think you said...
Get up and move around every once in a while.
You
It's
said
good
one
for
of the more controversial things about Morphling is that, like, he's actually fun to watch, even if he's farming, because he's, like, actively deep into enemy territory. He's using, like, replicates and things like that. Anti-Mage sort of the same way, whereas OD says, alright.
Also, Morphling can just take a shotgun and saw off half of it and then blow a person up.
Right.
OD doesn't do that. Well, maybe he does with Assault. It's okay. But that's neither here nor there. No-Tail for the time being contesting the jungle. He'll actually get a Centaur kill, but he might give up a first blood in doing so. There is a test of faith. That was so not worth it. My God.
There's a regen rune for NS. The lucky.
This support Naga for No-Tail has had a checkered past as of late. Or checkered track record, I should say.
What does that even mean?
Well, it means that he's been struggling on the support Naga quite a bit.
Okay. This is English 101 with LD.
This is like this cast has had more misfires than Chernobyl. I don't know, man.
Oh my God. And the hits do not stop here. Bot lane here, we do see Windrunner actually does not have the point.
I even felt bad saying that. Like trailed off at the end.
Oh my God.
Once he started,
I'm surprised actually Windrunner hasn't picked up that point, especially against offensive tri-lane. I guess the enemy team doesn't know that, so they're like, oh, we can't go on Windrunner. And she's like, you fell into my trap because I don't actually have Windrunner. Yay.
Why the hell not? So mid Morphling 12-5 right now to the 10-0 of Hani. I mean, all things considered, Illidan's gonna need to bottle Crow a lot, but he's still doing all right. And actually, we'll have some action in the jungle. Trixie stealing ars-art's damage, but not gonna do anything off of that just yet.
Yeah, I think Lion was absolutely dead.
Trixie's absolutely dead. It's his turn to run right into the meat grinder. He'll drop to crazy here. Fnatic are just going one by one. Now they're gonna lose a Crystal Maiden as well. This tri-lane is an absolute train wreck for Fnatic. 3-0 already for VP. They just keep on getting caught out.
So the thing that we haven't really talked about is when you lose at trying as badly as this, Razor is one of the poorest hero in the game to make that recovery, and there is absolutely no way for Fnatic to rotate their support. What are you going to do, saying Crystal Maiden and Naga mid? They're not going to get a gank off. So,
gotta run by NS first, and NS apparently can just solo. He can probably solo either of those supports right now.
Yeah, with his Centaur and Test of Faith, definitely. So I just don't know what Fnatic do. Their lane situation is just completely whacked. You can't gank Morphling mid, and if you're going to rotate up top, that's a ton of time being wasted. Call it a huge victory for Virtus Pro.
And if you rotate up top, KSI just goes to jungle as well.
That's fine. He's okay with that. So
they're pretty screwed. So they'll rotate one. They'll send Fly top. They'll leave two bottom. So now it's a Naga as well as a Razor against a Windrunner who's already nearly got phase boots. Not sure what they do here either, Lumi.
yeah, there seems like Well, Hani is their great hope, right? But unfortunately, if he's playing a solo mid Alchemist, he's going nothing but, spells actively. And runs in right now. There's a Nova. There's a bite on top, and I'm not sure how much Strength Morph it's going to go. The stuns should be fired out right now.
Strength Morph, too good.
OP.
Too
nerf.
good.
Nerf, please.
Ice Frog, please re-nerf. After seeing that, I've changed my mind. I've amended my ways, Ice Frog.
Didn't we just say that Morphling got shotgun in terms of nerfed? Like, he got over-nerfed, and then we were like, yeah, maybe he didn't get over-nerfed. Maybe he was okay.
I loved that hero when he was horrible, so it was sad for me to see him get buffed a lot and then buffed too much and then nerfed. He's still a decent hero, though. But
he's great.
Like you said, he's very situational. You can't really run him solo mid in a lot of cases. Certainly not against the premier ones as of late, like an OD. But, I mean, he's doing well mid. He's sitting at 18 and 8. The Alk is out farming him as a melee hero, but Hani's had some help here with the gank attempt from Fly. So it's not really a fair 1v1.
Yeah, it definitely isn't. Looks like they're really stuck to their guns on this spot dueling now. But they're just passively farming. They're not going to be going for kills anymore. And you can see that line feeling a lot safer, even walking into lane. That means if Naga-san, for example, oversteps a little bit her boundary, she's going to get killed instead. Very tense situation for Fnatic. How are they doing up top here? This should be the one lane they're kind of dominating, right? Era versus the Nature's Prophet, and he's doubling the CS. So Era, the saving grace, and Weaver is one of those heroes that you could get kind of in a great start by picking up double, triple kills kind of randomly overall the game. So it should be okay.
For the time being, you look at Fnatic, the Weaver, the Alchemist really farming well, but VP have 4 heroes farming. Prophet, Chen, Morphling, as well as Windrunner. So even though Fnatic have the 2 lead farmers, I think they just have a lot of liabilities on this team. Level 3 Crystal Maiden with no boots, Naga with no boots, walking around at level 2 right now. Once again, it seems it'll be a Naga that just can't really do a whole lot in the mid game. And I think overall, because of that, I'd actually give VP a pretty heavy edge here.
Krista Maiden took an Invisibron on the bot, was scouted when she took it, and of course was scouted when she walked past the Central War. So I think perhaps they were even setting a bait. There's a bite goes off, and net goes on as well, but easy waveform out. So ton of mana going down the drain.
They can't kill Morphling. It's fine to harass him, but if they have any ambitions of killing him, then, well, they're sorely mistaken about that. This Morphling is not dying, not without the Alk stun being there, and they probably need 4 heroes to kill him at this stage of the game.
Yeah. Well, there's teleport up top here. Now they are going to do the full lane switch. Razor, level 4 up top. I'm not even sure why you're farming the Razor at this point.
Well, the problem with Razor, one of his weaknesses is if you can't get stuff done early, I mean, there's better heroes, right?
Right.
The whole point is you have static link. You can go and just zone enemy melee heroes out. Some ranged heroes like OD, you can just go hard on them and slow them down, but who can you actually zone out? Morphling just waves away if you static link him. Windrunner windruns with phase boots away. Lion doesn't really need his auto attack damage anyway, and now Fly's going to get picked off. Easy food. Now a Hand of God, turning the tides of this fight. They might lose No-Tails while Illidan, he headed south. Now he gets creep blocked. Will they get the Weaver?
Shackle?
Will they get the Weaver? They've got a Dire Observer Ward here. No vision right now for VP. They could have had a kill on No-Tail, but unfortunately Illidan thought they could get the Weaver, ran the other way.
And Crystal Maiden dies yet another time. Lion, kind of the winner of that situation there, didn't die himself, got the EXP for the kill. And I say EXP because he's about to hit level 6, and if you're Crystal Maiden, if you're Weaver, you're definitely afraid right now, because that Lion, level 1, of course, got buffed, huge damage output.
So what do you think about this build by Trixie? He's actually gone for 2 points in static link, and he's maxing Plasma Field. Normally when we see Razor picked, he's going solo mid, he's maxing static link, and he even takes points in the passive at times, but maxing the nuke first here. What do you make of that?
I think this is a very good kind of adjustment to how the game is going. You're losing the lane. You can't really actively run in anymore and try to body your way to steal some damage to zone people out. That doesn't work in the mid game. In the mid game, you want a flash farming spell. You want a spell that could kind of hit people from afar. You want a spell that could defend your towers, and that's exactly what it does. Oh, Illidan Storm Rage is gonna wait for him in, but he's gotta now strength morph. 5 seconds, 4 seconds.
It's gonna be close. There's a few more auto attacks. His armor value's dropping. He's starting to take more and more damage. He's actually manning up. He had the wave at the last second, but didn't use it. I think he could have just gotten away there.
He definitely could have.
But thought he could get a kill, wanted to make a big splashy play, and ends up, well, just getting dunked by the Weaver. Now rotation, ars-art. Ooh, he's in trouble. Here comes Fly. ars-art 1 creep from level 6. If he gets Finger of Death, he can at least kill this Crystal Maiden. He's not going to make it.
Oh,
Throws out the Impale. Oh, only hitting one. Now going to drop to Trixie. I think he should have ran towards the creep wave, gotten the level, and then turned around and killed Fly.
Yo, that would be so sick, especially with the Wrath Nature coming in.
Yeah. Well, he went for the safer play, and does end up going down. Overall, though, VP still getting decent farm on the Morphling, the Prophet, and the Windrunner. Sure, it's a death on the line, but ars-art, hey, he's level 6. You look at Crystal Maiden right now, 4. Naga only 5. This Lion's going to have an opportunity to get stuff done in the mid game.
Yeah, and I really think that this early game really fuels the mid game for Virtus Pro. It allows Morphling to do whatever he
Not
wants.
again. Not again, ars-art. He wants that one creep. Give me that creep, he says. Throws out the Impale.
Oh,
Fly still has a Frostbite, but he's worried. ars-art really wants his level 6. Oh my god, this is too good.
I don't think that's the lane you want to go in to find that level 6. It's not going to happen there.
I would actually like to, on a more serious note though, I'd like to see a move with NS. I feel like these two together, with the creeps NS had, could just get a kill on almost anyone right now. Even the Weaver. They've got 2 Troll Traps, they've got Hex, Impale, Finger, and the Stomp. I mean, that's an easy kill on important heroes.
I think NS just wants to farm, which is actually not a bad way to go about it. But mid lane here, they're going to focus on Windrunner. She gets out of there. Hani has opened up with the Medallion first, but more importantly for me, he's got that point into Grievo's Greed. I like this adjustment. You're not going to win the early game, especially with the poor start you had on the offensive tri-lane.
think so.
But just actually slow it down a little bit, farm a little bit more, and take advantage of Grievo's Greed.
Yeah, and truth be told, Fnatic have a pretty scary late game lineup of their own. Lots of farming potential. That was one thing they lacked last game, Lumi, was they didn't have great flash farmers. This game they do. They've got Plasma Field, that's a decent flash farming ability. Acid Spray, obviously great, and Weaver's a good split pusher. So, of course, they even have Riptide on their support. Naga, so if they want to just try and win in a farm war, I think they could.
They could, especially when their ultimates in the late game, like a Silent Siren, really good around the Roshan pit, which is a big contention in every all places. Lion does have that level 6 now, but unfortunately, they're kind of trying to find kill on top of a Reserve Ward. It's not going to happen against a Weaver, so
Radiant's top tower is
okay,
under attack.
passive game.
No push being attempted here. I guess if they want to push, they do have to push into Acid Spray. There's a TP up on Hani. Very odd, though, to see a Chen who got this fast of a level 7 not even working on the tier 1 bottom lane.
Yeah, we haven't seen a Chen actually really making any successful ganks. Hard to gank at the tri-lane, and
That's
now...
not true.
Top tower
Got
Well,
the first blood.
Yeah,
But he didn't really gank
that's
that.
when the Crystal Maiden walked in the jungle and fed to them. But top lane is going to be a push, and it's just a strange push that is not being defended. Trixie finds himself a freebie. He had a very tough start. He made a rotation up top with level 4, but we'll talk about that later as a huge ultimate goes on the ball lane here. ars-art, drop your nukes before you die. No, he just flat out dies. Aaron, big trouble. He time-lapse back, and the song... Well, Morphling's back, but NS is dead.
Well, maybe that's why they didn't push Lumi.
Yeah.
My god, they got worked. They're going to lose the entire army of Chen creeps as well. Fnatic, they'll take out 3 heroes in the end, and, well, just completely on the back foot at this point. Oh, sorry, did they take out 3 or was it 2?
2 heroes.
2 heroes.
It was a 4-0 start, and now 0-4, kind of answer back for Fnatic, and they got a tier 1 tower on top to boot. This gold graph, going back to equilibrium almost.
Yeah, it
back
was a
to
2.5k gold lead on a lineup that could really use that gold. You get an early mech up on the Chen, which is now delayed, by the way, with that death for NS. You could start to make some stuff happen. They did get the Midas online for KSI. He's farming. He didn't die. Your Morphling for Illidan starting to accelerate his farm as well, but I mean, I feel a lot of their lineup strength is the movement of the Chen and Lion together, and we just haven't seen them gank at all.
At all, yeah, like not a single obligatory smoke gank early game that you try the mid or whatever.
And it's funny because last game, I mean, VP just sat back and let Fnatic make all the moves. This game, when they did try to force a fight, they just get blown up. Fnatic, very hard team to push into, and the key thing there was No Tail had Song of the Siren as well, so they didn't just get the 1 kill, they got the follow-up, and they cleaned up all the Chen creeps. It's a bit of a mess right now for VP. Seems like they're struggling to figure out where to go next after a really strong start.
I think when you're not really sure what to go in a stage of a game like this, and you have Morphling and Nature's Prophet, a valid option is always to go late. And we do see a Ring of Health opening on Airman, and I do believe we are going to see that Lincoln Sphere.
Well, this mech is just not happening for NS. Caught out, he'll lose his creep army too. That's 2 times 0. He just started rebuilding it. The poor guy cannot catch a break. Fnatic is nailing these smoke ganks. Last game, they were not very successful. This game, they are.
Crystal Maiden, you're in the wrong
Stay with your
neighborhood.
team, Fly.
Yeah.
Fly my schnickel.
Yeah, but I think if you're losing the early game with Morphling and Nature's Prophet, just go late. Go split push. And the Ring of Health as opening is an indication of a Lincoln Sphere. And last game, we said Lincoln Sphere, great split pushing item.
Yeah, this is a very important game to get a Lincoln Sphere. There's a lot of things that can break it, sure, but all of them are crucial spells to avoid. The net is crucial. The Alk stun is especially important. And even the static link is something you really don't want to get caught by. That will kind of ruin a Morphling over the course of the fight if he's not able to wave away. And if you're forced to wave away, that means you're not fighting. But VP could be in trouble. No Tail has Psalm. No Psalm for 30 seconds. ars-art maneuvers onto the high ground towards fnatic. In fact, he's leading the way. This bug will be picked off, and VP will be forced to retreat. Meanwhile, Illidan's pushing mid, so as long as VP just play it safe and stable like this, I think they're in good shape.
Yeah, Fnatic had really an upper hand of positioning right there when Weaver was about to threaten and backstab. Unfortunately, they don't have Song to set it up, and if they did have Song, that would have been like a 4 or 5 man team wipe in the favor of Fnatic. Just 20-second off cooldown. Meanwhile, KSI says, can't farm in my jungle, let's farm in yours. And he's going to be finishing a Shadow Blade somewhat quite soon. And these tier 1 towers that are not going down just yet, it's not a big deal, because eventually Virtus.pro is going to push those ones down. Last game, remember, they got 3 tier 1 denied, and it didn't really even matter at the ultra late game, because their split push was so good, their farming was so good. And I think we are going to see a repeat of that this game as well.
They've got a 4-staff now on Crazy, or 1,000 Suns. I guess I should start calling him that since he seems to be sticking with the name. The mech is coming soon. ars-art is getting some farm. Everybody on this VP team can be an impact hero. Fnatic has Fly. They've got a level 5 Crystal Maiden, level 6 now. This hero is not going to be a big impact.
Nope. Her only purpose in this game is to get fingered by the line. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Meanwhile, Waterman farming on top. He's got the perseverance.
This cast is like all of our mistakes in one cast.
You got to get them out, right?
Guys,
So
we're preparing for the International 3. We got to get it out now so that we're very professional and focused for the big event.
I got something else saved up too. Don't even worry.
Oh, please tell me you're out of batteries soon, Lumi. I don't think I can take anymore. I'm sure the viewers can't either.
No, the viewers are waiting. They're waiting to have
With bated breath.
I know.
For your next zinger.
The hate Reddit thread is about to get another line.
I'm not gonna read Reddit for the next 3 days. I think.
I'm not gonna do that.
Lumi's gonna go there right after the cast, though.
No.
So VP, we've talked a lot about what their plan is: split pushing and just kind of farming. Fnatic obviously have some access to the late game with a point in Grievel's Greed, Hani hitting level 11 and having 3k gold. I think Fnatic could take this pretty late if they wanted, but I think they're the team that probably would be more interested in looking for pickoffs. Shadowblade now up for Hani. They've got some great burst damage with this now, and if you can keep on killing that Morphling before he gets Linken's, then I think VP will be in a very tough spot.
Well, maybe later, because it's a Song Siren initiation, but Virtus.pro supports are backing him up. Chen on one side, Lion on the other. Lion reveals his position, but I'm not really sure what they can do against. They do link him up, but the Impel's going to fall through on one side. Finger Death could actually do some work. Where's the Finger? No Finger just yet. Does he want No Tail? Where's the Finger? Zap that Finger. They're going to go on Trixie. Trixie's down to half. He gets zapped down by a waveform. No Tail should be fine. No, gets canceled here by the Adaptive Strike. And that's 2 kills. Nice Impale here. And a power shot to clean up.
And here comes Hani. Now he's ready to rock and roll. He's got the Shadow Blade. I think he's going to find ars-art being sent back to basics. Too late. Self-stun. Sent home by NS. What a Chen. What a player. Hani's going to drop. Call it for the Crystal Maiden. Did die on the backside earlier.
Collateral damage.
What an absolute disaster. A train wreck of a fight again for Fnatic. They're just getting outplayed by VP.
Well, Hani, I'm not sure what that one was because he had more than enough time to zap that, drop that nuke. But
yeah, he wanted to charge it up. He wanted to charge that up to max. I think he would have been fine just with, 3 seconds or so left. But beautiful sendback.
Actually, a very little known fact is that when your projectile of that stun flies in the air, it's also still taking up during that moment.
Yeah.
So he didn't have to charge up to the full. I'm not sure if he knew that or
I think he was also getting cold feet. He's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to go in here. There's a lot of heroes, guys. Maybe I should back off. But by then, it was too late.
Yeah. Well, 4-man kill for Virtus.pro takes a tier 1 tower, and of course, everybody getting a ton of level, Morphling getting a ton of farm. We'll have the Ultimate Orb on top, and all things going well for Virtus.pro. When is Fnatic going to strike back? Because they're kind of like a cold fish right now. They're not doing anything.
They could go Roche as well. They've got Medallion, they have Acid Spray maxed, and looks like they might look to do that. We're going to find out if this form works. He's not using it.
All right, there's...
Well, if it works, he's not choosing to use it. I don't think it does, though.
I don't think it does either.
Chat probably corrected us, but we were too busy concocting all these horrible zingers during this time. So it looks like uncontested Roche for Fnatic, and I think this helps them a lot, because if you give it to, say, Hani, he can be really aggressive going for gank, or Era can split push more freely with it. He's also going for Linken's. Will be really nice to have against the Lion, but in come the Treants. Can't steal the road, can't steal the Aegis, can't steal the Roche kill either. So Fnatic give them a Roche, helps them back in the game, but I still feel they're the team that is more pressure to get stuff done right now.
Yeah, let's quickly check out how we're doing in terms of items, because maybe not, as we have 1,000 Suns perhaps looking for a Shackle.
He's making us all
Stutter
nervous.
stepping, but
he pulled the trigger. He pulled the trigger back a little bit and then slowly released it, but doesn't go in the end.
all right. So let's quickly check out an item here. We have Hane's Shadow Blade. Trixie's going for that BKB. Eric going for a Lincoln Sphere of his own. Smoke being used here by Fnatic, perhaps trying to set up a gank. And that's pretty much it, right? The support's just going for bracers each. Meanwhile, on the Radiant side, Force Staff, Shadow Blade up on KSI. A Lincoln Sphere that's a little bit closer to be done, and more quickly Chen with this mech. He had it in the last push, and to me that was a big factor of why they won. They want to get a 5-man smoke gank on him, but
Wrapping around that stun.
out he goes, and the stun just disappeared off the map.
Oh, it doesn't follow you when you replicate? Follows you through.
It follows you. It just disappeared for whatever. I think it's gonna stun him in the face eventually.
It follows you through almost everything. I saw it follow a Weaver through time lapse. That's pretty ridiculous.
There you go.
That stun will find you no matter where you go, man. I'll tell you.
They
It's
are
like it's a
gonna
bloodhound of a stun.
Trade a tier 1 bot for a tier 2 top. Yeah, Virtus Pro getting the better trade.
8-5 now, 21 minutes in. VP. Yeah, getting the better trade. They'll take a tier 2 top. They'll do some damage to the tier 2 mid. And they give up a tier 1 bottom that they don't particularly need anyway, because now Morphline's got his Lincoln Sphere. Your Windrunner's got a Force Staff and 2,400 gold. There's just no easy kills to be had on these VP heroes. And the Shadow Blade on the Prophet. You don't really need your towers to farm.
And that's not even counting the Hand of God that coming from any point, the mech, the sandbag. So during even a team fight or pick-off alone, like, yeah, you're right.
NS says, screw Rat Dota. I want to fight like men. In Russia, that's how we roll. Draws the line straight down the middle lane. Can VP push like he seems to be suggesting?
It's going to be somewhat annoying to do it against a max plasma field, as well as Acid Spray, as well as the threat of Song Siren. So, but when you stick together like a team, you don't get stunned by Hani, for example. You're safer.
I feel really bad for Audi. Like he did really well mid. Like was out farming a Weaver, or rather a Morphlane, but just cannot seem to find any kills with the Shadow Blade. VP are prepared for his every move.
Yeah, they're definitely playing well, not getting caught out. The only time they got caught out was when they were a group as a team. Virtus Pro, KSI still farming away. What do you think he's going to be going for next? Just a standard Scythe advice? Or?
Yeah, they could use the lockdown. If you get double Scythe, you can definitely kill anyone. The Weaver, also it'd be nice to have for Naga so she can't summon the Siren. I think Scythe's just your obvious choice. They're split pushing, allows them to pick off any heroes who come to defend towers. Speaking of split pushing, Illidan working on the tower bottom lane. There could be a Song here, potentially. They broke in the Lincolns. He'll wave to the left. He TP's out. The Lincolns blocks the stun. They couldn't get a Frostbite off in time to break that Lincoln's first. Actually, now they catch him with a Song. Courier scouting as well. They really want the Illidan kill. They're committing so much to it. Now he'll wave to the south. He gets netted up. He's still alive, and even if he dies, they're going to take a tier 2 mid for it. It's an expensive kill. He will fall in the end. But VP, quick to the response. They take a tier 2 mid. Not a horrible trade for them.
Man, they dropped like every single spell, and they had like 3 or 4 heroes surrounding him from all sides, and they barely got the kill. So
welcome to Morphling Dota.
Fine hero. Now I'm thinking of that picture back in TI2
of the giant Morphling descending on Seattle.
Seattle, like, are we gonna see it this time again?
I hope so, man. I don't know. I personally love the hero. I'll admit I'm a bit biased. I've got a special place in my heart for him. He's been my favorite for years, even back when he was horrible, but. I don't think if he stays in his current mode, I think he'll be a niche pick, but I don't think he'll be a top pick.
I mean, do you remember those like 60-minute game between LG China and IG, like anti-mage morph every game? Be like, yep. I felt bad.
Eat your heart out, Western Dota fans. I was loving those, but to be fair, those games were very tense, right? Like I don't mind a farm fest if it's a huge. If there's a lot at stake, for sure.
When you're being eliminated from TI2, it is definitely very tense.
If you can't get excited for that, I don't care if the teams are farming for 2 hours. Like, that's so much money on the line, so much pride at stake. I think it still could be very entertaining.
Looks like we do have Hani posing up in the enemy jungle. I really like the fact that he's always in the enemy territory. He's very safe because he has the ultimate as well as Shadow Blade, and also allows you to find the random support. Maybe Chen is jungling there, for example, and then you just pick him off. But unfortunately, NS and the rest of the supporting squad is just having none of that. No free pick off for you.
And that's where VP have been very smart in their own right. You've seen KSI just constantly in the enemy jungle. They haven't been getting picked. By the way, there is a gem up now in No Tail that'll help them to kill off the split pushing Nature's Prophet if they can find KSI. Up to 3.2k gold. We'll see an initiation mid. Will Hani finally deliver a stun? He does. It nails 1,000 Suns. Cannot even force staff away. Will end up going down, and now the tier 1 mid falls as well. Good movement from Fnatic. Persistence paying off here. They've got the Aegis running out fairly soon, I believe, and they're finding kills.
Yeah, that's where you not having a really good hero to slow down or stop a push is tough, right? Like your Chen is not going to stop a push, and Windrunner, one of the best person to do so, just easily gets dove upon and picked off. And Virtus Pro says, all right, the best defense is a good offense. Let's keep pushing so you never get to our side of the map. You can see that both KSI as well as Illidan is doing that, but I think Dire could just take that tier 2.
Fnatic have plotted a course, and it's straight into VP in the jungle. The mighty jungle. They'll find ars-art. He gets netted up. Your Lion sent home, however. The Lion King is still alive. Ars-art's going to live. NS able to retreat back out. Beautiful send back. They didn't have Song of the Siren. 3 seconds now on the cooldown. Just now getting it back.
He also dropped a 3-man impaled on the 3 trailing members of Fnatic, so that...
They smoke. Arrow was here. They smoke. It's immediately popped. Well, some slight miscues here, but all things considered, I think Fnatic, now they've got Song. Now if they want to fight, it should be much more successful.
I'm not sure whether he should actively use that Song and look for a pick or maybe save it for the Roshan, because it's 4 minutes from now, which is an issue, because Song of Siren does have a 2-minute cooldown.
Yeah, if they want to use it, they've got to use it fairly soon.
Yeah. But it doesn't seem like they're looking for any kind of pick off as a team, especially with that smoke whiff. I'm not even sure how many smokes they have left. Let's quickly check out. They're out of smokes. So I think they're forced to play passive for the next 4 minutes, wait for the Roshan, and hopefully they get a good pick there.
So now we enter sort of the mid-game transitional phase. Both teams are going to farm up their next items. Your Nature's Prophet didn't go for Scythe, went for Desolator. So a better split pushing item. A great item for backdooring towers with as well. The Minus Armor really adds up. And if you do win a fight, if you want to sneak a Roche, it'll help you there to push more quickly as well, to help you bring down Roche faster. Interesting pickup, though. I still feel they're a bit lacking in terms of lockdown. Lion, sure, he's got Hex and Impale, but the kind of lineup Fnatic has is so good at catching him out. The Shadowblade initiations coming from the Alchemist, the Song, catching him out of position. ars-art isn't guaranteed to hit 3 hero Impales. No Blink Dagger on him, and he's not going to go for one. He's going for his patented build, I believe, which is the Aghanim Scepter. Gives you that 20-second cooldown once you complete it at level 3. And it's just an ars-art special. He's gone for this item. I think there's been like 5 Lions Aghanim Scepter games, and it's been him every single time.
I really think this is a BKB game, though. I feel like there's just so much magical damage, and if you don't BKB against that Alchemist, he's just going to stun you for like half a second, you're dead. He's also the gem carrier now, so...
He might go for it. I mean, it's certainly not out of the question, but let me tell you, Lumi, he really loves Aghanim Scepter.
I can't... I mean, who could argue with Finger of Death?
Who can argue with ars-art? This is the guy who pioneered Carry Crystal Maiden.
Oh, man, that thing was
Sanj,
beautiful.
Heaven's Halberd, Vitality Booster, Treads, Mass Points and Stats, not even leveling the Aura. I don't know if you can skip the Aura nowadays with the recent buffs.
It's so good.
But if anyone could skip it and get away with it, it's definitely Mr. ars-art.
Well, ars-art is not skipping his Mana Drain as he's getting 1 point. Not a bad spell to have at 1 point. Here comes the Scythe of Ice from the Windrunner. So we're asking, where's the lockdown?
There you go.
Windrunner's got the Shackle Shot. She's got the Scythe. And to be completely honest, they don't have lockdown now. But I don't think Virtus Pro is actually looking to fight now. They're looking probably to pick off 1 or 2 and then go back to farming, go back to split pushing. And once they get another item on top of the Morphling, another item on top of the Nature's Prophet, I think then they will look at more fights. And that should be a Scythe. I don't think KSI will skip Scythe next. I think he's forced to really go Scythe. Or maybe he'll just go BKB. Who knows?
Yeah, the thing is, if he wants to go BKB, there's still so much minus armor on the side of Fnatic and a lot of physical damage. You mentioned all their nuke damage. They've got a lot of just damage in general.
Right.
There's plenty of physical coming from the Weaver, the Riptide, the minus armor from the Swarm. All these heroes hit hard.
True. Yeah.
And so we'll have to see what the item selection will be, but even something like an Assault Caress, to be honest, I wouldn't mind that from KSI too much. But I think...
his HP is just really low right now.
I think the Scythe is just better because their lineup is great at split pushing, and Scythe is great to back up a split push. Makes it very easy to protect the Morphling, makes it very easy to turn engagements, and also to find pickoffs.
Yeah.
All these other items don't help you do that.
We're kind of approaching a late game phase as we're almost approaching the 30-minute mark. And Morphling, as a hero
NS, no way out. He's got a Ghost Scepter, not use it yet. He's chain stun, can't get it off. He gets slapped down by the big bad Alk.
BKB gets used. Song as well, so exactly
Awkward
Nombo?
combination here. They'll prep with the swarm, though. 3 hits is all it takes. Down goes Mr. ars-art. No impales, no hexes, no fingers of death. Hani, rather, Era on the chase. Crazy. Turning around. Wanted to come back in. He thought Fnatic were done with him. And they're not. They continue to chase. They won't be able to find another kill. Roshan's coming. In fact, it's back up right now. No Chen for 20 seconds. No creep army to scout the Roshan pit. And no Lion for another 20 as well.
That's a fairly big mistake by Virtus Pro. I mean, they know Roshan is up because, you know, timer should be available.
And,
so.
oh, by the way, they lost the gem there as well. Because
Yeah.
the Lion had the gem, Lion lost it.
Well, they know Roshan is up, but they're split up as a team. Chen was on his own, Lion was on his own. They're not actively seeking as a pickoff because Morphling wasn't really there. Nation Prophet could always be there, obviously, but that was just kind of a rare time to whiff a smoke gang because Roshan is... If Fnatic gets Rosh right now, they storm down the mid lane trying to win the game.
Unfortunately, it looks like Fnatic aren't going to be able to find the Roshan, so VP, a slight miscue there, but they didn't lose any of their carries. That's the other nice thing for them. KSI continuing to farm up to 3.6k gold. Now Illidan has his Ethereal Blade. And oh boy, there are some delicious targets in this game. In fact, you look at Fnatic, the only hero who's not an easy shotgun target is the Alchemist. Sure, there's a Linken's a Weaver, but if you remove that from the equation, he's potentially food. They're all sitting around like 900 to 1300 HP.
But they got BKBs.
That's easy pickings for Morphling.
They got a BKB on Alchemist. They have a BKB on Razors.
That's true.
So that's
If
gonna
they
be,
get it off. There's a double hex on VP.
Right. Soon to be third
It's
hex.
just, these fights are going to be all about who gets the initiation. Initiation's always important, but this game there's just so much instant initiation. Hexes, galore, the song, which is instant counter initiation if you need it as well. And they're going in. Illidan's wrapping around. Shotgun's there. He'll bring Fly down in a hurry. And the waves back out. Well executed.
Easy. I just can't wait to see Shotgun and a Finger of Death on top of that. That is
Oh
going to
my
be
god.
zip zap. Oh, Fnatic Era's going to go right in. Does he want NS? He's a prime target. He has the mech. He has a Hand of God send back.
He's got a Ghost Scepter, though. Hard to go on him. Meanwhile, Illidan waving north. He'll join up with KSI here. Hyperstone picked up. It looks like maybe he will go for an AC. One way to do it, the minus armor, get an AC and get some minus armor of your own.
It actually gives yourself quite a bit of survivability. Maybe a little bit more than HP even against a primarily minus armor based team of Fnatic. Okay. Decent.
A slight divergence in terms of item build, but now you got to figure Alk's going to go for AC, and in fact, he just completed it. Hani having a great farming game. As a solo mid Alk, as a roaming ganking medallion Alk, as maxing his nukes, he didn't go for the farming build, yet he's been keeping up.
He didn't go for it until level 8. He got his first point there, and
Yeah, he got 1 point, but he wasn't really spending much time farming. Only 180 CS.
he was always looking for people in the enemy jungle, and when he didn't find them, he was just hitting neutrals. And with Greevil's Greed, it does actually give you quite a bit of gold there. So
That's what we're here for, guys, to bring you the big insight. Greevil's Greed gives
give
you
you
a lot
more
of gold.
Yeah.
It's
It does.
It's a slow game. It's another passive game for both of these teams. VP trying to learn how to win in the long, slow, prolonged split push style farm fest, and so far, so good for them. Score 10-9, 32 minutes in. Gold wise, experience side, they're leading once again. They're going in on Illidan. Remember though, he's got a Lincoln Sphere here. You used to be able to break Lincoln Sphere with Medallion. No longer the case, but man, that item really sucked. You could also earn to remove it.
Yeah. Thank God those two does not work. So we do have a big back and forth go here on the Roshan, and of course Fnatic should have the Roshan advantage, given the fact that they have more ramps to use. They have Naga Siren Sleep. At the same time, Virtus Pro has a ton of summons to send into the Roshan, constantly scout things out. They have things like Power Shot, and they also have a global hero in the form of Nature's Prophet, so he could push Elder Lane and still join back in the team fight. So both teams having really, really good Rosh hero, but not sure who's going to take it.
Yeah, hard for Fnatic to go into the pit, though. The lanes are fairly pushed. Bottom lane approaching the river. Top lane well past it. Fnatic's actually done a nice job of keeping them out, considering there's a Nature's Prophet spamming his ult. Still, they can't really sneak this Rosh. If they go in, they got to basically say, hey, we're going in and do it the straight way. And the question is, will they try to do that? They have a Desolator up on Era. Rosh will drop very quickly. Ani
Ooh,
hunting
Ani.
for a kill again. It'll be another self-stun for him, but
These are like
remember, there's no gem on VP.
These are like very aggressive because you don't know where the enemy wards are. Like he might just stun himself and just die, but
Hani's a man. He's got a BKB. He's in Chemical Rage. I don't think he's dying.
well, they're gonna go for the Roshan now. Power Shot scouts things out a little bit.
Do VP just give up an Aegis and go for Rax here? There's no glyph for Fnatic. I don't think they can make this trade. This is not a good one if they give up a Rax. Would like to see one Desolator auto attack on this Rax, but there won't be one. Illidan will wave away, and beautiful split push. They forced them back. BKB was used by Eraser. No tail. He does have access to Song. if VP commit to this, that might be bad for them as well. They'll clear up some illusions and continue to work on the Roche.
To be honest, I think VP, if they never actually take the Roche, but constantly threaten and bait to do so, and then have the Morphling just to take that Rax up top, I think that's their play. KSI right now out of mana. He's actually taking Roche on quite a bit. He does have buyback available. No tail. He is just waiting with bated breath.
They send back the Prophet. Still a little bit too low to engage with Psalm. Meanwhile, Trixie, is he really stealing damage from an illusion? Wow. Well, that's going to hurt, except he gets shotgun. He gets blown up. Mr. ars-art delivers some vengeance with that sweet, sweet finger of death. That was such a well-executed bait. Couldn't get off the BKB. It was pulling down. And now Roshan dropping low. It's fnatic who won it. They saw him to try and finish it off. Era's got to take the Aegis. He'll do it in a hurry. Meanwhile, Prophet pushing out the top lane. And in the end, they get a Razor kill, but it's fnatic who strike first with the Aegis.
Prophet in huge trouble as well. The minus armor being dropped on top. And KSI, look at the damage. Oh, goes in the Viz. Hand of God comes down there.
AC saves him, as well as Hand of God.
Oh my goodness. Just too close for comfort. And now, kind of in an awkward position with Razor dead for 20 seconds. Sure, they have the Aegis. The Morphling could actually just backdoor that exposed Rax, especially with TP coming in from Nature's Prophet.
So what can what can Fnatic do with the Aegis? Just look at the map right now. It's hard to get out of this base.
I feel like they could only farm with that Aegis. I mean, if Virtus Pro really wants to, they could just straight up wait for 6 minutes.
And I think they will. There's no pressure. It's exposed Rax top. If Fnatic ever commit to a push, VP just take your top Rax. So it'll turn into like a Mexican standoff here in some ways. 10,000 gold lead, about a 10,000 experience lead. It all goes towards the Radiant. They have found Era. Era drops low to the shotgun. They won't be able to pick him off. In comes the stun. ars-art caught, but once again, NS sending him back. He'll escape, and now NS is on the run. Shackle's there. Ooh, almost catching Era. Won't in the end, though. Era will be able to time-lapse out. But while this is happening, KSI, it's a death by 1,000 cuts style, and currently seems to be working.
Oh, looks like Storm Mage has got a kill with the shotgun. He's looking for the Sprout. Not going to find it, but Crystal Maiden, oh!
You said she'd be food for the Lion, but she's food for everybody, man.
Yeah. And here comes the push. It's not exactly a true push, but shotgun comes on Hex as well. Power shot on top, and Hani's going to be dead as well. No BKB activation. There goes... That's the power of Side
There's no Psalm. They're going to lose a gem as well. Now they're going to lose Era, potentially. He's able to Sakuchi away. Comes back in. Wants to make a go on KSI. Aegis pop. Just blown up by Illidan's Storm Raid. Man, he is pissed off. Illidan's out for vengeance. The Shackle won't connect. Who needs your Shackle? You've got Impale. ars-art jam it in with the Finger of Death. But once again,
GG.
It's stolen by Illidan. And VP just overwhelmed Fnatic. Their longtime rivals here, taking them down 2-0. Great performance from them. They played really well.
I mean, I remember the days where VP was gank to die kind of lineup. And now they just completely went the full 180.
So versatile. It's very impressive.
Right. If we compare VP's playstyle right now to, like, you know, late game split push to another international team, which team would you say they're most like, or I like?
I would say the old VP, very similar to not to Navi, to...
Maybe the fnatic.eu when they just gank like crazy.
Yeah, Fnatic's always been more of like the kind of dodging team fights early to mid game, and then they'll take a bunch later on.
Right.
I don't know. It's hard to say. VP reminds me a lot of like their old style. Reminded me a lot of like the old DTS, where they run the aggressive trial lane. You have profit safe lane. You try and fight a lot early, and you just keep on taking fights. But VP nowadays,
they remind me like a Chinese team almost.
Yeah, they're not quite as safe, I guess, but I think in a lot of ways that's a good thing, because in this version, it seems to me that the teams that are winning are the teams that just are most efficient on the map.
Yep.
Teams that stack the most, teams that farm the most, teams that get away with the greediest picks. Generally, that seems like the recipe for success.
This wasn't
what Navi did to the Chinese teams.
Fnatic today went for 2 greedy draft, neither of them picking up.
But they didn't execute it well.
Yeah,
I think that's the big problem. Yeah. No Tails Naga Siren just kept on getting picked off in the laning stage. Very delayed level 6. Ends the game at only level 13. 37 minutes in. That's a bit behind for Naga. 0-3. I just feel like Fnatic, they're picking greedy drafts, but they're not executing it well. Whereas VP, maybe drafting a little bit less greedy, but they are just executing it perfectly.
Yep.
Or close to perfectly.
Perhaps also punishing a little bit of the overgreed of Fnatic.eu.
And VP still has that. If we want to go aggressive, we can. Like,
I mean,
sure, they're not running it, but I think that's still their default and most comfortable position.
If this is TI3 and they're in a loser's bracket with 1 match to go and they're going to get kicked out.
Yeah. Don't be surprised if you see like a Gyro Undying +1, Profit safe lane for KSI, because that's all he plays. And
Don't wait,
Boom.
please.
Go for it.
All right, I think that's gonna do it for Beyond Summit presentation of the Corsair Cup for today.
Yeah,
Well, more action tomorrow.
We'll
correct?
come back tomorrow. I don't think I have the schedule yet, but there are 4 matches remaining. 2 more, or rather, 3 more losers bracket matches, followed by your grand finals. I believe that's the case. So right now, we'll see VP advance to the grand finals. Guaranteed top 2 finish for them. As for Fnatic, they drop down. Of course, I'm LD. He's Luminous. Thank you all for joining us today. Corsair is doing a giveaway one last time. You can check that out at gc.corsair.com. Enter for your chance to win a fully stacked and loaded gaming PC, as well as some Dota TV tickets. But for now, that'll be a wrap for today's coverage. We'll be back tomorrow with more Dota 2 action. Stay tuned.